we are going to be discussing Robert Frost poems in a series of videos. But today we will start with A Soldier, one of the poems of Robert Frost. And then in the subsequent videos, we'll be discussing other poems of Robert Frost like Out, Leaves, Beaches, several other poems of Robert Frost. But today we'll start by discussing A Soldier, one of his poem also. So Robert Frost is an English poet. He's an American poet who has written a lot of poems, and he is reputed for setting his poems on vegetations and environment. So this is poem. This is poem A Soldier. He fashioned a variation of the Elizabethan sonnet with the rhyme scheme of A, B, B, A, C, D, C, E, F, F, E, and G, G. So it may be separated either into 3 stanzas and a rhyme couplet as the Elizabethan sonnet, or it may be divided into the Petrarchan octave and sextet, also known as the Italian sonnet. So this poem is a sonnet, and the octave begins by making it clear about the subject. Then the sextet continue with an extraordinary discourse. So we are going to start by analyzing, reading the poem stanza line by line, and then we discuss the stanzas. So this is the introductory part of the poem. The poem is an English sonnet, and as you may already know, a sonnet is a poem of 14 lines, and this is a sonnet. So let's look at the stanzas. Look at the first stanza, and then let's see the line. He is that falling lance that lies as hull, that lies unlifted now, come dew, come rust, but still lies pointed as it blow the dust. If we who sight along it around the world see nothing wrong, nothing worthy to have been its mark, it is because, like men, we look too near. Now, this is a reference to a soldier who was killed in the war front. He is that falling lance. This is the use of extended metaphor, that lies as hull. That is for lance is a weapon on the ground. It's an abandoned weapon that lies unlifted now. Come dew, come rust. That means the soldier is lying down, and whatever comes will happen to him. Dew follow him, and then he is changing color, and the color is already rusting. The color, the human color is changing to something else. So it portrays a color of a dead soldier who is abandoned, and people that passes do not pay attention to the dead body. And he also accuses the passerby, who are the ordinary citizens, for not assisting or trying to help the dead soldier's body. And the reason why we do not do that is because we are men. We are like men. We look too near. We are short-sighted, and we do not have much insight to the sense of duties of soldier, much insight to the duties of soldier. Then let's look at the second stanza now. Forgetting that as fitted to the sphere, that is, the ordinary citizens who do not pay attention or don't have sense of duties and responsibilities of soldiers have forgotten, and then our missile always make too short an arc, short-sighted, criticizing the soldiers, and also not paying attention to them when they need us, especially in time of challenges. So they fall, they reap the grass, they intersect. This is the soldier dying, falling on the grass, and even intersecting, dying in the grave, dying on the grass. So the curve of earth and striking break their own. So they make us cringe for metal, stone, but this we know, the obstacle that check and to trip the body, short the spirit further than target ever should or shown. That is, even though the soldiers are being killed in the physical, their spirit shines in heaven because of the duties they have performed, because of their integrity and their responsibility of protecting others. Though they are protecting others and the others are not paying attention to their own safety, then it is God that rewards them for their work. That is what the persona is trying to pass across here, that it is God who rewards the soldiers. So let's go to the first stanza again, and let's do a brief analysis and see that the poem expresses an insightful view. Yes, an insightful view regarding the meaning of a soldier's duty. It is a fascinating blending of the English and Italian sonnet. Now, from the beginning, the soldier has fallen to a lance that has been hauled. So the speaker begins his comparison and thought process. A lance lying on the ground failed to be retrieved, thus it gathers dew and rust. And nevertheless, the lance continued to designate and point to its destination. We also see that this soldier is being compared directly to a lance, though a human being, the persona uses extended metaphor. So let's look at the analysis of the poem now. Now, the fallen soldier continued to point to the goal for which he died. Yeah. Then the soldier is like a lance that still points to its destination. So while reclining in death, both the lance and the soldier communicate an important intention. So the reader's attention is then drawn to the citizens for whom the soldier fought and fell. And you see it in these lines there. If we who sight along it from the word see nothing worthy to have been in its mark. That is in the first stanza. So the speaker knows that those for whom the soldier had died find it difficult to understand why the soldier had to fight and die at all. Why can't we all just get along? Why should we be fighting in the first place? So these are the reasonings of the ordinary citizens, but they forget that it is war, it is disagreement that causes a fight. For a soldier to engage in any form of fight, it's as a result of what is happening, either war or a very tumultuous crisis that cannot be controlled by the police. So you also see that nations are conglomerate of different notions. So each nation has to protect the entire nation, not just those who agree with method enforced to do that protecting. So the violent peacenik have to be protected from their own lethargic stance. The violent civilians have to be protected. So the soldiers march for peace, and also they desire peace. And it is in the one sphere that government authority has its definite duty to protect the people, to safeguard the territorial integrity, and also to serve and protect its citizens. So sometimes that protection means combating force or other nations who will aggressively attempt to attack another nation. So the soldier whose life has demonstrated this proper duty should be enough to enlighten all of the nation's citizens. Then you will see also that an average citizen's imagination is short-sighted, and they keep on blaming the soldiers why they engage in war without having much information on what causes soldiers to fight. So the drama play out while the average citizen have insufficient imagination and continue condemning soldiers. So these low information citizens remain incapable of grasping the sense of duty. So the expression of energy, the love of country and life that these soldiers have felt deep in their heart and mind, the ordinary citizens do not have a sense of that. So you can see that only the protected ignorant citizens, including indifferent, self-serving politicians, all of them are being protected by the soldiers. And according to the persona in the poem, the soldiers are independent. They do not do the bidding of politicians. So the couplet of Frost's poem offers the important message: the soul of that fallen soldier does not end its trajectory by continuing to lie down there. Rather, the soul has raptured to the heavens and is shining and will be rewarded by God heavily for protecting others and for sacrificing their lives for the citizens, for the ordinary citizens. So, also look at this. The poem is structured as an English sonnet, 3 quatrains. Okay, and we can see that the structure of the poem, as I earlier said, is A B B A, C D D C, E F F E F F. So in the subsequent video we'll be discussing the poetic devices and the themes in the poem. We'll discuss the structure also, and after that we'll be going to another poem by Robert Frost, either either we discuss out of beaches or a letter in the letter box. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you will get notified when the videos are uploaded. Thank you.